Robbie Wong here, streaming some Arena Brawl to you. I figured out my webcam here, so we're going to embed that into the video as well. So we're going to switch it up to Vito of the Thorn of the Dusk Rose, and it's a 2 generic, 1 black mana vampire. Whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. 3 black creatures you control gain life link until end of turn. So as is imported off of the MTG Goldfish website, this deck has a small vampire sub-theme and a lot of life gain. So I like to approach deck building from the perspective of what problems does this deck have and how can I solve it. So right off the bat, especially with the monocolor deck, the opportunity cost for castles and these sort of exotic lands I think are really low. So as is, this deck was 24 swamps. So the likelihood of Witch's Cottage coming into play tap, probably pretty low. Maybe it can generate a little bit of advantage. Castle Locthwain is maybe one of the best castles in the cycle. So maybe this deck has issues grinding into the late game, and Castle can help where a normal swamp wouldn't be able to. So we're going to swap out the 24th swamp for a Castle Locthwain. So when I look at this deck, breaking it up into its different categories was a little bit more complex than the Niv Mizzet and the Keenan deck. So here's the removal, which I don't think is enough. We're starting with these 3. And yes, Liliana is kind of a removal, and where is it? Wishclaw Talisman can fetch up one of the removal spells, but this is your removal suite so far. So my initial impression of this deck is we are playing individually underpowered cards in order to slavishly follow the life gain that Vito is going to provide. And in the end, if the objective is just to kill the opponent, then you just want to play more powerful cards, even if they're not thematic. Let's look at a card, the Big Dumb Dino, 2 generic, 1 black. That's a 7/6, and that can kill opponents. So maybe that has a better slot value than, say, Creeping Chill, which oftentimes in this deck, without a whole bunch of mill, is just 4 mana sort of Lightning Helix minus, right? So let's look at these other columns. This is your early game, so you can have an aggressive start. You have these other creatures that don't necessarily gain you life, but Bloodthirsty Aerialist connects because he can get bigger, and these are just incredible value creatures, right? Sometimes they're above curve or a lot for 4 mana. We have these are support cards, and I've got my eye on them because these especially these single shot cards, I'm not sure there's enough value in them. And just because they give you life gain, we're going to play it as is first and then make adjustments afterwards. These creatures connect to the drain. So they have lifelink or they drain. Creeping Chill should be in here. These are creatures that drain. I like creatures. They can swing and attack and finish off your opponent. These don't necessarily stick around. So Sorin's Thirst, Bastion of Remembrance, Underworld Dreams doesn't drain, it just plinks. Creeping Chill, Ill-Gotten Inheritance drains, Revenge of Raven drains. So there are drain spells, but if you don't have Vito out, then they're kind of underpowered, and with Vito out, it's a little bit better. So let's go ahead and get into the gameplay. Last column over here, some finishers. Grey Merchant's fantastic. You can double it up with Nightmare Shepherd, and Bolas' Citadel is an incredible late game engine if you can get it going, and it can finish off your opponent. Wishclaw Talisman can be anything you want. Just wish it up. So we're going to go ahead and play a game here and see what our impressions are. Farewell, Keenan, for now. So this deck has a bunch of 1-drops, So you want to look for a curve, like a real curve. The last two decks, it was very much like, do you have a ramp spell, and then go from there. If you can go 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop, use your mana every turn, you can be really aggressive. Okay, Radha. That removal is going to be so critical. Okay, this kind of counts. This kind of counts, but it only targets knights. Otherwise, it doesn't do what you think it's going to do. But I think we can do better. Okay, curve, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and we need to find something other than vampire to deal with Radha. I mean, Radha's going to come back. Vampire of the Moon, of the Dire Moon, is only going to help you once. Still opponent's turn. That's good. And we found a Fenlurker. Let's I find Magic often is trying to conceal as much information as possible before you absolutely have to. Sometimes you play games where there's not a lot of decisions, but if there are decisions to be made, you want your opponent to make them with as little information as possible. Here's Radha. Okay, so notably this doesn't trample, but it can get a lot of advantage by looking deeper into the deck. I think Underworld Dreams is going to deal more damage over the long run. That's no attacks. I will trade off Vampire of the Dire Moon aggressively here. Okay, so what scares me? Haste creatures, Embercleave. It has First Strike. Okay, so no, never mind. This doesn't work. I knew that. We're going to no blocks it. Four Nightmare Shepherd. Okay, that has trample too. Okay, so this will Stonewall. I'm not using my mana very efficiently, so let's go ahead and Nightmare Shepherd, and then maybe we can get a little bit more value out of Fenlurker here. Okay, I need to remember that Spellbreaker gives my opponent hexproof. Do not want to be got. This will let me gain life too. And combo it with this, although there's no creatures yet. Lands matter, man. Yeah, Creeping Chill. Not happy to see you. Okay, so let's Tymaret. There's some tension here between Tymaret and Nightmare Shepherd, right? Like, what's the better? What is the better? Now we're not okay. Sorry, hold on. Let me finish this thought, then I'll launch into the next one. These two are at odds with one another because Tymaret wants to exile so you can gain life, and Nightmare Shepherd wants to gain life so you can replay your creatures. So there's Veil of Summer. Veil of Summer. I forgot that card existed. It's like when I got to play Once Upon a Time with the Keenan deck. I was like, what? What's going on? This is happening? I need to get 2 more mana. I don't want to be overrun. I don't want the opponent to get to 6 mana. I need to make that happen before they get to 6 mana. Lots of things need to happen. I'm glad Tymaret is here, though. Death Touch. See if they attack. Nope. Okay. This is 3. This is 2. Maybe it matters. Oh, I like land. Let's do Vito. Swing with Nightmare Shepherd. I should check if they have reach. Don't play too fast. So we're in a pretty good position. We've got a lot of pressure here. They don't have any reach. They're still, well, maybe they're not anymore. They're a little bit far away from activating Radha. We're at a commanding life total. We have Nightmare Shepherd. We have a lot of things that they need to react to. I'll do this. Prevent you from drawing a card. And I'll get to gain life here, and Vito will matter. Plink him for 1. Oh, no, or I think I would rather get the card out of their hand than deal the extra point of damage. 2 turn. Okay. Yes, Nightmare Shepherd. You may go ahead. You win, Nightmare Shepherd. And yeah, in case it matters. I mean, okay. So if I give everybody lifelink 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, it's not quite enough. So we can go 8. All right, so let's at least attack with Nightmare Shepherd. And then the first striker over here is so we put him to 1. Let's Revenge of Raven, because we can't kill him this turn. So we're going to Revenge of Ravens to dissuade them from combat. Ooh. If I exile, I get a token, but then I don't get it back ever. This is 5. No. Next turn is Nightmare Shepherd, Creeping Chill. Opponent needs something. They need something good right now. We could 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We're going to trade off our board pretty aggressively here if they attack. Oh, you know what? I think this was a mistake. I think having the token of this is more. I think that's like the one time where you actually want to. Okay, so what I was saying was I think that's the one time where you're better served with Vito exiling, so you get the token. So if they attack at all, they're dead, because the way they win is through poor blocks, Ember Cleave plus collision clauses or something, right? So if that's the way they win, that's the you want to play against it, even if it doesn't make a whole lot of intuitive sense. So if we let Vito get exiled from Nightmare Shepherd, we get the token. The token still has all of these abilities. So if they attack with anything, they're going to take double damage between Revenge of Ravens and the token of Vito, and then we're still guaranteed the kill on the backside because Nightmare Shepherd plus this. yeah, well, anyway, that's going to do it. Game 1, W. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.